With this cast and this premise, it's just a big missed opportunity. Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about The Discovery. The Discovery is about a world where a scientist has found proof of an afterlife, and there's this big epidemic of people killing themselves because they know there's something on the other side. We don't know what the nature of this afterlife is though till much later, and a lot of the mystery is figuring out what exactly this afterlife is. The scientist is Thomas Arbor, played by the legend Robert Redford, but we mainly follow his son, Will Arbor, played by Jason Segel, who's both skeptical of this discovery and also has a really rough relationship with his father, blaming him for, all these suicides, and we'll discover later some other things regarding their family dynamic. Jason Segel meets his love interest Isla, played by Rooney Mara, on a boat, and he saves her shortly after while she's attempting to commit suicide. So this film is basically about relationships, and everyone in this film has these painful memories with the people that are still there, and they have painful memories with the people that are no longer there. This is a really interesting premise, but they kind of dropped the ball. The beginning is really captivating when we see this world where people of their own volition are just killing themselves, not because they're crazy, but because it makes sense. Why suffer so much in the present world when there's another world that is supposedly better and there's proof that it exists? But again, they keep it very ambiguous and we're not sure what this afterlife is, and we don't ever get that much explanation. I think it's partially because the writers don't even know what the fuck is happening, honestly. There's so many cool doors that are opened, but nothing is really resolved. One idea I really liked was that Thomas Arbor actually has kind of a cult going on, and in this cult he's giving his members a reason to live, and there's also a cool interview scene between Robert Redford's character and Isla when she wants to join the cult. And this scene where he's interviewing her is super reminiscent of The Master, and that's why this movie is so obviously flawed, because when you compare this film to The Master by Paul Thomas Anderson, a master of his craft, starring Philip Seymour Hoffman, also another master, it's so obvious that this movie just is not good compared to that. They shouldn't have included this scene when that movie is still pretty fresh in people's minds and did what this film was trying to do just infinitely better. Really interesting fact, quick fact, Jesse Plemons, who you'll recognize from Breaking Bad, who's also in The Master, plays the brother of Jason Segel in this character. So I guess he's kind of being typecast as a cult member or a person in cult movies. I guess that's a pretty sweet gig. You get consistent work and you get Kool-Aid, I guess. Anyway, so The Master is amazing. It was so good at showing us how people deal with pain, how to take advantage of people's weaknesses. Having this scene in here where we're just seeing people get audited, basically similar to Scientology, but not really fleshing it out. It just feels unsatisfying. We get a lot of surface level glimpses of this cult, but we never really dive deeper into what this cult is about, just like we never really dive deeper into what this film is about. At its core, I think this movie is trying to be kind of a love story. The chemistry between Will and Isla is passable, but it's nothing amazing. Their reasons for connecting with each other are also kind of weak. Aside from him saving her, that's about it. I don't think there's really a strong connection. I think this film doesn't really know what it is, or even if it does, it doesn't really execute it well. There's too many half-assed ideas that are presented well enough. The machine that shows us the afterlife is cool, the locations in the world is interesting and pretty, the characters are also interesting enough, and I want to know more about them, but they just don't tell us enough about any of these things. I think if they focused more on the technology aspect or more on the love aspect, this movie could have worked better at least, but in trying to do all of these things, they failed at making one cohesive film. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think the word for this movie is, again, unsatisfying. It's shot well, it's competently acted, it has a really impressive cast, but the plot's just not properly fleshed out. I would give this film a C. If you really want to check it out, it's not a complete waste of time. Again, the concept has so much potential and it basically sells itself. You can kind of catch glimpses of a better movie if that's something you're into. Very unsatisfying. Once again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys next time.